What is up, Nerf Nation? I'm Naptown Nerf, and today we have a review from Raytheon Toys, and they sent me these 300 darts of theirs to review for you guys, and I really appreciate that. They did send me these for free, but that's not going to change my opinion. We're going to go ahead and compare these to some Elite darts, put them some different custom blasters of mine, and see how they compare. Let's go ahead and get these out of the package. So these come in like a sets of 10, so they're each packaged separately in sets of 10. You can get these on Amazon. I think they're about $20 for 300, or on their website. I'll put links in the description. But if you get them on Amazon, you can get free Prime shipping if you're a Prime member, and they'll get to you in like a day or two, so that's really awesome. Alright, let's see what these things are all about. So the foam quality seems really nice. The head of the tip is hollow. It's not a full vinyl jacket like some knockoffs are, so that's good, but it does seem quite a bit harder than a normal Elite dart. I got an Elite dart over here, so I don't know if you guys can see the difference on video, but this orange plastic is a little harder, a little shinier, and maybe just a tad bit pointier than the Elite dart. But yeah, the Elite dart definitely gives a little bit more than this. This just seems like the foam's going to give. So this probably will hurt a tad bit more, but I don't think it's anything to be too concerned about. I use things that are much harder than this, but if you are concerned about shooting maybe young kids, maybe this isn't the best option over the Elite dart, but I don't think it's going to be too big of a problem, especially if you're not using modified blasters. I don't think it'll be that bad. But durability, I don't see any glue on it, which is good, and they seem to be on there really good. I'm going to try to pull this apart, and I cannot do so. So that's really, really good. I mean, the Elite darts got pretty good adhesion there too, so those are very comparable there. I would give that an A+ for durability. So we'll definitely see if heads fly off during throwing them through some modified flywheelers. If they don't come off during that, they're good to go. So we will definitely test that outside here in a second. But foam quality, like I said, I feel like they're very similar, actually. They feel very, very similar in density there to me. So that's good. They almost look almost identical in terms of the foam thickness and all that. So I think they're very, very comparable, and let's go ahead and throw them through some blasters. Okay, we're gonna do quite a few blasters today, just to get a different idea of how they do in different styles of blasters. But I'm gonna start out with 3 Elite darts here in my zombie shot, hammer shot. That'll give us a nice baseline, and I even got the tape out to see how the ranges compare. So 3 Elites. Try to keep them level. All right. And now we'll take 3 of their darts. And these are all brand new darts, because obviously theirs are new, so the Elite should be new, so we get an equal comparison. So now we'll do 3 of theirs. Oh, that went further than the Elite and straighter too. That one's a little short. And that one's a little shorter too. But seem to be very comparable to the Elites. Let's see here, I believe. Okay, at 42 feet here, we have one of their darts. And then this is the other one of theirs, and it's just past 44. And then we have an Elite, 46. And just short of 51, an Elite. And then we have one of theirs and an Elite, about 56 feet. So very, very comparable in my opinion. I think they're about the same out of the hammer shot. Let's go ahead and try a few more blasters. We got my Messenger here. This has a 10 kg Nerf turf spring in it, and it is awesome, guys. I love this thing. So we're gonna start out with the Elites again and then move to their darts. I think that's gone. Wow, accuracy not so good with the Elites, but we'll see how it does with theirs now. I do think their darts are slightly more accurate for whatever reason. Those look pretty good. A little short on that one, but pretty good performance. Let's see what we got. So this was that last one, and it is 68 feet basically. Then we got these all the way up here past the tape measure. So this is one of theirs also at 78 feet. Then we have an Elite at 81. Now the wind's picking up. We got some over here. I think this is another Elite. It was way off line. They're past the tape measure. And this is theirs. Went really far. And that one Elite, that first shot went really far. But so I think theirs are maybe a little more accurate, maybe just a touch less range, but I really don't think the ranges are too much different. I do think they're doing very well, the front-loading springers. So let's move on to some flywheelers. Okay, got the Blue Stinger here. This has a BSUK cage in it, so it's got brass running through it. So I'm curious how it's going to do through that. And it has Extreme Pro 180. So this is top tier right here, and if it can handle this, it can handle almost anything in my opinion. So here we go. Let's see, we're going to do 5 shots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now those were Elite darts. Now we'll try theirs. Huh. Did not seem to like the brass as much. These did not like the brass or the flywheels, or one of the two. Not real sure which one it was. Let me try a few more of theirs just for good measure. So it seemed to do better. The first few weren't the greatest, but those seemed to do better. Let's go see how we did. They definitely weren't as far. They didn't shoot as far as the Elites. So this one didn't really do very well. It was pretty short, and same with this one. This is one of theirs, 47 feet, and that one was 32. Another one of theirs at 60. Another one of theirs at 65. And this one is 68. This one's 72. These are all their darts. Another one of theirs at 76. So theirs are not going as far and didn't seem to like the brass quite as much as these Elite darts, which all went past the tape measure. I think this is actually one of theirs too, yeah. And then this is an Elite. All the Elites went pretty far out of that thing. So yeah, I think maybe their darts were a little bit underperforming, but we're going to go ahead and put it through a red cage that doesn't have brass and compare it to see how it does without brass. Okay, we're going to try the Devil's Wing now. And yes, I know these are on backwards, but that's how I like them better this way, honestly. They just suit my eye better on this blaster and this alignment, so you don't have to tell me they're on backwards. But these have 130 rhinos in them. It runs on a 3S, and it has an Artifact red cage inside, so this should be more comparable to like a stock flywheel blaster. I don't have actually any stock flywheel blasters that are available to me right now, so we'll just go ahead and give this a try. Okay, that was 5 Elites. Now we'll try theirs. So that seemed to do much better. So my guess, it was the brass that it didn't, the darts didn't like very much, the Raytheon Toy Darts. Which happens if it's a tad bit thicker foam or something, that could have something to do with it. But yeah, those seem to be more comparable. Let's see how they did. So this is one of theirs. The Raytheon Toy, 70 feet. Another one of theirs at 73. And this one just about 74.5 feet. Those are all theirs. This isn't their first Elite, and it's just past 78 feet. And another Elite just past 81 feet. And then we have one of theirs. I guess I should have rolled the tape measure out a little further, but nonetheless, you get the picture here. This is one of theirs. This is an Elite dart, so very, very comparable in my opinion. I think I'd have to say it does pretty well in everything except for maybe some brass. It does okay, but not as great as probably some other darts. So I'm going to do one more test in the stock Busby blaster up there, and just to kind of give you guys an idea what it does in a Springer stock class blaster. Okay, we're going to do one more test. These are Elite darts in the Walking Dead Abraham's M16 blaster, which is a pretty sweet Springer if I do say so myself. If you haven't seen the review, go check that out. So here we go. Alright, that was an Elite dart. Not going very straight, which is typical for Elite darts. Wow, that one flew right into the wall. I'm going to have to discount that one, I think. That one flew over there too. One more Elite. Alright. Now we'll go ahead and give theirs a whirl. Alright, the M16. This is one of theirs. Once again, between 45 and 46 feet. Theirs seem to go just a touch shorter than the Elite darts on average, but they do seem to be a touch more accurate than the Elite darts. So I think I would take that over an Elite dart, to be honest, because if you can't hit your target, what's the point? This is an Elite dart, about 50 feet. So ranges out of Springer seem to be a lot more comparable than the flywheelers. The flywheelers, it seems like the Elites do a little bit better, but the Raytheon Toys Darts seem to be more accurate on average. So yeah, this was an Elite dart and another Elite dart. So there's the Elite darts did go slightly further, but well, I missed one back here. But this is one of theirs. Yeah, so Elite darts went slightly further, but I think you guys get the picture. They're pretty darn good darts. They held up very well, very, very durable. And let's go back inside and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, guys, so as you can see, those darts did really well. Maybe a little bit less range than Elite dart, but I think they were a little bit more accurate. So I think that trade-off is actually really good. And the durability of these things was great. I think that it's something I can absolutely recommend, and the price point is great too. I mean, you can get 300 darts for 20 bucks. That's a pretty good price. And you can get them, you know, in a day or two through Prime shipping on Amazon. So I highly recommend these. I think they're a great substitute for Elite darts, and I think it's something that I would definitely purchase over Elite darts, that's for sure. If you have a flywheel blaster that has brass running through the flywheel cage, I probably would steer away from these, but other than that, I think it's something that you could definitely go out and purchase. So different darts do better or worse through different styles of modified blasters. Obviously, they did really well in front-loading blasters, which most darts are very easy, you know, compatible with front-loading blasters. It did well out of a breech-loading blaster, stock blaster. It did well out of flywheel cage that is an artifact red cage. I'm sure it'd do very well out of a stock Strife or Rabbit Strike or whatever flywheel cage. I'm sure it'd do pretty well out of those too. So yeah, I really appreciate Raytheon Toys for sending me these darts. I really appreciate your viewership. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. Please subscribe. Links in the description to where you can buy these Raytheon Toy darts. And as always, guys, peace out.